Good evening, everyone. My name is Gabe Abernaz, and I'm the president of the Montgomery County Council. It's an honor and privilege to be with all of you this evening. I want to thank everyone who has joined us tonight to provide their views on Thrive Montgomery 2050, as well as all the residents who have provided their comments to all of our offices. And I can confirm there are many residents who have provided many comments to all of our offices, because this understandably has engendered a great deal of interest, and we appreciate the feedback that we've received all around. I also appreciate all those who accommodate our scheduling this evening. We had a slight change so we could avoid creating a conflict with the Montgomery County State Delegation's bill hearings tomorrow night. Thrive 2050 is an overarching document and is a framework to guide land use planning for housing, economic development, equity, transportation, environmental sustainability, and more for the next 3 decades in Montgomery County. The broader purpose of the Thrive Montgomery 2050 plan is to guide the development of our communities in the face of change, and change is inevitable, as we know. The goals of Thrive include responding to economic, social, and environmental opportunities and challenges that we face today, and anticipates issues that are likely to emerge. The Planning, Housing, and Economic Development Committee draft of the plan can be found on the Council's website by clicking the Thrive Montgomery 2050 icon at the bottom of the page. The views of all residents are extremely important to our Council, and we look forward to ongoing participation from community members as we continue reviewing this plan and considering public input. And I just want to mention a couple of things. This is the second listening session we've had in this format. The previous one was also extraordinarily well attended and very helpful in many different levels. And just for the folks in our technical office, I'm getting text messages from some of my colleagues who are waiting to be let in. It looks like Council members Friedson and Rice have not been able to get in for some reason. So if somebody could work on that, I'd appreciate it. But I just want to acknowledge that this is a heavy lift, and I want to thank our Fed committee, who I think has done a good job of shepherding this process and getting us to where we are right now. And where we are right now is we are still in the process of soliciting input and feedback into this document. As we know, this is an important document, and we are not going to rush through this. We want to make sure that there are an appropriate level of work sessions, which will be scheduled in the new year. And we will be working on also having additional opportunities to listen to our residents, because we want everyone's views on this really critically important document. So thank you all for joining us this evening. We look forward to hearing your testimony. And Jordan, I turn it over to you.
Well, thank you so much, Council President Albornoz, and good evening and welcome to all our speakers tonight. Each of you will have 2 minutes to provide your testimony, and we ask that you mute yourself when it's not your turn to provide your views. We also have Marcela Rodriguez on the Zoom for any residents who may need interpretation services from Spanish to English. Participants on the Zoom may also view Spanish captioning by selecting the closed captioning button at the bottom of their Zoom screens. This will be the button marked as CC in capital letters. Marcela?
Esta noche estaré disponible para proveerles servicios de interpretación para los residentes que lo necesiten del español al inglés. También este programa se está traduciendo al español para los participantes en Zoom. Puede acceder a este recurso seleccionando el botón CC en la parte inferior de su pantalla de Zoom. Jordan, back to you.
Thank you, Marcela. Our first speaker this evening is Robin Barr. Robin, please unmute your microphone, and you have 2 minutes to provide your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
I am Robin Barr. And 2 minutes and 2 points. Here we go. Number one is equity financing and the developer's dilemma. Down County single-family lots sell for $1 million or so at the moment. The developer must make a profit. The answer is the biggest home that building codes allow. That's why Down County has so many large homes on little lots. Whether the housing is multifamily or single-family, a developer must solve the dilemma of the $1 million lot when building something new. The price needs to be $2 million or more. Efficient construction methods do little to solve this problem. Innovative solutions are needed. One solution is equity financing. In equity financing, the occupants take a conventional mortgage on a percentage of the total price, and the bank holds the remaining equity. The option works in business and in housing in other countries. It can work here. Okay, the second point is practical living and aspirational homes. The Housing for All chapter recognizes the need to build both homes for practical, affordable living in growth corridors, as well as to make aspirational homes more attainable in these growth corridors. It proposes, though, the same building types for both aspirational and practical living: semi-detached duplex, triplex, quadplex, townhomes, and small apartment buildings. Aspirational homes are primarily owner occupancy. Only some of the proposed building types allow owner occupancy easily: townhome units, semi-detached duplexes, and single-family homes. Others, triplex, quadplex, small apartment buildings, are usually rented. Please differentiate practical living from aspirational homes in that chapter and associate the needed housing types and financial incentives with the appropriate kinds of home. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Barr, for your testimony. Our next speaker is Deirdre McGlynn. Deirdre, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Hi, my name's Deirdre McGlynn. I am a Gen Xer. I live in Eastern Village Co-Housing in downtown Silver Spring since 2004. I strongly support Thrive 2050. I think it's needed to keep downtown Silver Spring and the surrounding neighborhoods as the vibrant and walkable, diverse place that it is now, and inclusive of various ages, ethnicities, and incomes. Eastern Village Co-Housing is an excellent example of smart growth and transit-oriented development. It's a multifamily community within a 10-minute walk to the metro, within walking distance to 5 different grocery stores. Many of my neighbors do not have cars. It replaced an office building that had been abandoned for 8 years prior, as were 2 other buildings in adjacent blocks that are now apartment buildings. We chose to pioneer what had been a neglected, downtrodden part of Silver Spring and bring it back to life, and thereby help make the entire locality, including the surrounding single-family home neighborhoods, the desirable place it is to live today. Now its walkable and vibrant and inclusive character is threatened by the lack of flexibility of the entrenched single-family home partisans who are resisting efforts to mitigate the extreme housing costs in this area by allowing smaller scale housing options that would permit walkable or even car-free lifestyles. It also needs to maintain its culture and character. It needs to be attainable for millennials and Gen Zers. Without housing options for young adults, the divide between haves and have-nots will only become more extreme, and the vibrancy and diversity of its downtown core, which anchors the area's desirability, will be once again eroded. Thrive 2050 will promote the availability of homes that are not overly large, but suitable, appealing, and attainable for people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. It will promote the longevity and integrity of communities by offering a variety of housing options, allowing people to upsize or downsize within the neighborhoods they already belong to.
Ms. McGlynn, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but your 2 minutes is up. But thank you so much for your testimony. Thank you. Our next speaker this evening is Matthew Lloyd. Mr. Lloyd, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Hi, how's it going? Thanks for the opportunity to speak in support of Thrive 2050. My name's Matthew Lloyd, and I live in Silver Spring, specifically in the Forest Glen neighborhood that's between Wheaton and downtown Silver Spring. My wife and I have lived here since 2010, and we have 3 elementary age children. I want to share with the council today my confidence in MCN PPS to pull off the vision for Thrive 2050. Down County is an urban area, and it deserves to be managed as such for good urban planning policy. As a resident of Forest Glen, it's a great place, but as a metro stop, I feel it's a huge missed opportunity for the county. I see Thrive 2050 as a way to bridge that gap. And I really appreciate that the plan looks at ways to plan for people over cars, which is a huge part of the missed opportunity in Forest Glen. Thrive 2050 is a great way for the county to create vibrant and diverse mixed income neighborhoods that I want to feel good about raising my family in. The Forest Glen neighborhood is a neighborhood with the metro stop essentially dropped right in the middle, and Thrive 2050 helps augment that as a way to build transit-friendly neighborhoods where folks can easily walk and bike to neighborhood amenities like along a redesigned Georgia Ave. As a family, we love downtown Silver Spring, and we love Wheaton, but we also like to head up county to the agricultural reserve for the hiking and natural amenities there. And that's another thing about Thrive 2050 that really excites me, the idea that the plan encourages infill development to prevent sprawl. That's really important for me, within my neighborhood, to see Forest Glen grow, thrive, and change, but also for the county's wider responsibility to manage a strong agricultural reserve up county. This is a kind of idea that's really important to me as a voter and county resident for my family, to reflect our family's values. And I'd really like to close by strongly urging the council to start working sessions and to vote on the plan ASAP in 2022 to help Montgomery County be more affordable, sustainable for residents today and for all the years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lloyd, for your testimony. Our next speaker this evening is Muriel Goldsmith. Ms. Goldsmith, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Good evening. Thank you for holding this listening session. My name is Muriel Goldsmith. I live in downtown Bethesda, walking distance from the Bethesda Metro Station. While I'm here as an individual, I'm proud to report that I'm involved in the Adat Shalom Reconstructionist Congregation's Climate Action Team, which raised my awareness about the importance of Thrive 2050. As a Jew, I try to live my life in accordance with the teachings of my faith as I understand them, and I believe I have an obligation to care for the earth and to love my neighbors. So to me, supporting the goals of Thrive 2050 is a moral imperative. I wholeheartedly support the goals of Thrive 2050 that will put Montgomery County on a path to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions while advancing equity. I support compact development and investment in public services along growth corridors to make walking, biking, and mass transit more feasible so that we can reduce reliance on fossil fuels that are causing climate devastation. I do not have a car, and I rely on the inadequate public transportation in Montgomery County. Usually, I am the only white person on board when I ride the bus, which I did today. This has made me aware of who really bears the burden of sprawl and prioritizing private cars over every other type of transportation. I also support more market rate and subsidized housing to make Montgomery County affordable and to help address the shameful legacy of redlining. Please note that I live in an area that will be directly impacted by increased density, and I support these policies. Please move as fast as you can to implement Thrive 2050 to improve the lives of everyone who lives in our county and heal the atmosphere that gives life to us, our children, and all living things. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Ms. Goldsmith. Our next speaker this evening is Ed Edmondson. Ed, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Do we have Mr. Ed Edmondson here tonight?
I think he's muted.
Okay, let me see. Ed, are you muted?
How's that?
Yep, we can hear you. Thank you.
This is my second time on Zoom. So, all right, here we go. My name is Ed Edmondson. I am against the current version of Thrive 2050. It has a great deal of good information in it, but it is lacking in one key area. It does not protect the environment. In fact, it does the opposite. It fosters overdevelopment on land which is currently green space today. Montgomery County is extremely unique. Up County is very rural. It is open farmland. This is due to the extraordinary vision of the current plan that protects the ag reserve and defines the green wedges. We need to keep the green wedges component in Thrive. That's the key point. Protect the green wedges. We don't want Park Potomacs all up and down River Road, Ellsworthy, Berryville Road, Darnestown Road, anywhere they can build multi-story condos. Additionally, 3 concepts to add. We should do a green space acreage audit, updated annually, with the goal to increase green space. We need a carrot and stick approach to add more land into green space using conservation easements. If you want to build a downtown Crown or a Clarksburg outlet mall, then you must put X acres into conservation easement. Third, I think we should create a financial incentive and provide resources for farmers to use regenerative farming methods. Watch The Biggest Little Farm and you'll understand why. It's on YouTube. We must stop paving paradise to put up a parking lot. Watch any David Attenborough documentary. You'll understand why. Converting existing developed farmland into converting existing developed land into walkable communities is a great idea. I love the idea of Pike and Rose. Let's do it all up and down Rockville Pike, but let's leave current green space alone. In fact, let's increase the amount of green space we have. This plan in its current version is a handout to developers, and it is a slap in the face of Mother Earth. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Mr. Edmondson. Our next speaker this evening is Monica Savos. Monica, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Thank you. I am speaking in support of Thrive because throughout Montgomery County, the infrastructure overwhelmingly prioritizes cars over people. This degrades our quality of life and it kills people. It does not only kill the people who die in car accidents and the pedestrians who get hit. It also kills the people who don't exercise because they don't have safe and pleasant biking or walking paths that easily fit into their routine. It kills people who die of the myriad illnesses related to noise and air pollution. Evidence is building that traffic noise pollution is a major contributor to dementia. WHO estimates that over 4 million people die every year from air pollution, with some estimates as high as 10 million. For context, about 5 million people have died of COVID-19 since the beginning of the pandemic. On top of degrading our health and safety, cars and parking ruin the aesthetics and ambience of the whole county. Now, I'm not suggesting that we ban cars. However, we should stop egregiously subsidizing them. Parking requirements make everyone pay for car storage, whether they themselves drive or not, incentivizing them to drive more. The lack of safe, protected biking lanes throughout the county make people who would otherwise bike hesitant to do so. Zoning that only allows one housing unit on a parcel makes it so fewer businesses can be supported, which limits walkability, stunts our economy, and it shuts people out. I want my kids to be able to safely walk and bike the streets of Montgomery County, and I want them to be able to breathe its air without worrying about getting sick. I also want them to be able to afford to live here when they grow up. Please pass Thrive now. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Monica. Our next speaker this evening is Richard Georgina. Richard, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the County Council and fellow citizens of Montgomery County. My name is Richard Georgina, and I live in Darnestown, Maryland, Council District 2. On November 16th of this year, we heard the Honorable Sidney Katz, a member of the Council, at a meeting of the PhD committee, ask Mr. Casey Anderson if it was true that while Thrive 2050 Montgomery does not change the zoning in any way, if it were to actually happen, would there need to be either zoning changes and or text amendments for it to be achieved? Mr. Anderson answered yes. Mr. Katz then proceeded to question whether the council members should keep saying this bill doesn't change the zoning without adding for it to go into effect, zoning changes would have to be made. I understand the Honorable Mr. Reamer was present for that exchange. At the last public hearing on Thrive, I was shocked to hear Council Member Reamer correct the speaker by repeating the statement that Thrive does not change the zoning, without adding, there will need to be changes in zoning for the bill to have any effect. In doing so, I believe Mr. Reamer knowingly and willingly spread disinformation by omission of a key fact to the citizens of Montgomery County. And as a citizen, I am asking him to resign his position as a Montgomery County Councilman at large immediately. I believe Thrive will be the final nail in the Montgomery County coffin. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your testimony. Our next speaker this evening is Lance Burleson. Lance, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Hi, my name is Lance Burleson, and I live in North Potomac. I've been a longtime Montgomery County resident and grew up here. I think that our county should embrace equitable, affordable, and environmentally conscious growth. And for those reasons, I'm an enthusiastic supporter of Thrive 2050. I believe Thrive 2050 is going to encourage more housing options near transit corridors that will allow more Montgomery County residents to drive less. Like a lot of speakers tonight, I'm a parent of small children, and I'm concerned about two things. One, that we need to do everything we can to decarbonize, and if we can't do that in Montgomery County, then I don't think we can do it anywhere. So that means less driving, and Thrive 2050 will help encourage less driving. And second, I'm concerned that without changes to our current trajectory, Montgomery County won't be affordable for my kids. So for those reasons, I'm a strong supporter of Thrive 2050, and I would like to encourage the council to move forward with this plan. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Our next speaker this evening is Walter Wise. Mr. Wise, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Is Mr. Walter Wise here with us this evening? Okay, I'll note that and we can circle back. Next speaker we have is Catherine Davies. Ms. Davies, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Thank you.
I oppose the rezoning of single-family lots in the Thrive Montgomery plan for the following reasons. Number one, the impact on county resources of the rezoning has not been analyzed or researched. There's no research and analysis on the impact of the zoning change on schools, fire departments, and other resources. This is unlike any zoning proposal that I've seen in the county. Number two, Thrive Montgomery assumes that increasing the number of housing units will result in affordable housing. There's no analysis to support this assumption. In the United States, 1 of every 5 low-priced homes has been purchased by an investor. Thrive Montgomery will be like buying 3 homes for the price of 1. It's likely that this will increase investor interest, drive prices up further, and disadvantage lower-income purchasers. Number 3, start the rezoning in Thrive Montgomery by initially applying it to vacant lots. The result would be an influx of housing that would not result in the wholesale demolition of housing or subdividing of housing that would otherwise ensue. By introducing Thrive Montgomery gradually, the plan could be evaluated and any needed tweaks could be made as it evolves. Number 4, the rezoning in Thrive Montgomery disadvantages citizen home purchasers by forcing them to compete with investors and developers that view housing as a triplex income stream. As difficult as it currently is to purchase a home, it will be significantly more difficult when citizen home buyers are competing with investors, developers that are flush with cash. Citizen home buyers will be outbid every time and further denied the opportunity of home ownership. Number 5, emphasize business development. I do not see many plans in the Thrive Montgomery plan for economic development. I encourage you to make this a priority. Economic development will truly make Montgomery County thrive, and it will give Montgomery County more tax dollars so that the county can buy or build affordable housing itself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Davies, for your testimony. We have Mr. Walter Wise here. Hi, Mr. Wise.
I apologize. I had technical problems here. Yes. Thank you very much for allowing me to testify. I am testifying today on the behalf of the River Road Unitarian Universalist Congregation, where I am a member and co-chair of the environmental group, and also as a member of the Montgomery County Faith Alliance for Climate Solutions, which is a group of people who, from many faiths, who work together for the benefit of Montgomery County in terms of climate. The River Road group is enthusiastic about Thrive because it addresses two of our pressing needs here. One is racial inequity. We feel that by emphasizing development in East Montgomery County, and by emphasizing the importance of affordable housing, this will help level the racial inequities we see in the county. Secondly, we also think that by minimizing the use of cars in the future, this will be a major benefit in reducing greenhouse gases from the county. However, I will have to say that there are members in Montgomery County Faith Alliance for Climate Solutions who are quite concerned that Thrive 2050 does not specifically talk about climate change and climate resilience. That these are, we think in the next several decades, this will be a significant problem. And we're surprised and a little bit distressed that this was not specifically taken into account by the planning department. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony. Our next speaker this evening is Doug Ryan. Mr. Ryan, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Thank you. My name is Doug Ryan. I have lived in the county for 24 years, where my wife and I are homeowners, first in Kensington and now in Bethesda. Our kids graduated from county schools. I am also an affordable housing expert and advocate with 30 years of experience, including 13 years on the staff of the Housing Opportunities Commission and 5 as a member of the county's Commission on Human Rights. I support Thrive Montgomery 2050 to incubate the inclusive county that so many of us want. Without housing of all sizes and types, that inclusivity will continue to slip away. Thrive does not change land use policy. It's a framework that reflects the county's demographic changes over the last 5 decades. We need to build more housing. We need new housing near Metro, on bus lines, on major corridors. Today's new modest housing becomes tomorrow's naturally occurring affordable housing, but only if we build it. We need housing innovation. We need explicitly to encourage community land trusts, factory-built housing, and limited equity cooperatives to lower costs. We are rightly proud of our 1974 NPDU law that became a model for the nation. Yet last year, that program produced just 244 new units, not nearly enough of the starter homes or modest rentals that we need. And yes, we need more deeply subsidized housing. We need to lobby Washington, Annapolis, and Rockville to get there. I've done this for years. Thrive lays the groundwork for more affordable homes. We can't build more affordable housing without density. The math simply doesn't work. Thrive, of course, is beyond housing. Thrive embraces the social infrastructure, the libraries, parks, community centers that connects us. These assets are more than just mere amenities. They lead to improved public health, better public safety, and more engaged residents. Too many issues divide this nation right now. A local plan for the framework to position the county for the next generation shouldn't be one of them. But this is not new. Robert Whitten, then president of the American City Planning Institute, said this 99 years ago. Bankers and leading businessmen should live in one part of town, storekeepers, clerks, and technicians in another, and working people in yet others where they will enjoy the association with neighbors more or less of their own kind. That is not the Montgomery County that we think we live in, but is becoming more and more the reality. Thrive Montgomery 2050 can move us forward. I encourage the county council to approve the general plan. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Mr. Ryan. Our next speaker this evening is Jonathan Robinson. Mr. Robinson, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
All right. Hello, members of the council and fellow county residents. My name is Jonathan Robinson, and I live in Rockville, Maryland. in County Council District 3, and I'm here to speak in unequivocal support of Thrive 2050 and ask that Council President Albornoz schedule work sessions on the plan immediately. My family moved to Montgomery County last year from Washington, D.C. I wrote about our experience of moving and the reasons why we did so in an essay for the website of Greater Washington that I've attached to my written testimony for the record. We bought our home in Montgomery County because it is a diverse, beautiful, and yes, delicious place to live in. But the biggest reason we moved here is that it was also an area where we knew we could afford to own a home, in contrast with Washington, D.C. Why was housing in D.C. so unaffordable for our family? It's because demand for housing is high and the supply of it is far too low to keep it affordable. Not surprisingly, we have some of the same issues with the rising cost of living here in Montgomery County. Based on comparable sales of homes in our area of Rockville, the likely prices of homes like ours have increased by nearly 25% in just the last year alone. At the rate home prices are increasing, families younger than ours will be priced out of our region, and I'm very worried that this will also be the case for the next generation currently being raised in the county. Thrive 2050 provides a serious, well-reasoned, and research-informed plan for solving this problem. The status quo of the affordability crisis in our region is not sustainable, and without the important proposed changes to our zoning and housing policies in the Thrive 2050 plan, we can't even begin to address it. That's why I'm speaking to you today to urge you to pass Thrive 2050. I believe that in the near future, we will reflect on this moment as an inflection point in the history of Montgomery County. Now, the question for you is, will you act to solve the housing affordability crisis, or will you sit idly by and force thousands of people to move out of Montgomery County to provide a decent quality of life for their families elsewhere? Thank you for listening to my testimony today.
Thank you for your testimony. Our next speaker this evening is Howard Schoenholtz. Howard, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Trying to get my video up and
Okay, we can hear you and see you.
okay.
We can hear you, but your video is off, but if that's up to you.
Here I am. Good evening. My name's Howard Schoenholtz. My wife and I have lived near River Road in Bethesda for 25 years. Tonight I'm calling upon the members of the County Council to remove Thrive Montgomery 2050's designation of River Road between Western Avenue and the Beltway as a growth corridor. When you consider other growth corridors named in Thrive, like Georgia Avenue, Veers Mill Road, and Route 29, you see that they share at least one characteristic. They have or have planned robust transit infrastructure. That is not the case on River Road, where only the T2 Metro bus runs sporadically, something I know from personal experience, having taken it to and from work each day for more than 2 decades. And the 23 ride-on bus traverses just a short segment of the road. The council members should also ask themselves why, when the county is striving to move beyond car-centric transportation, the planning board would designate a growth corridor that ends at the Beltway. In addition, the River Road Growth Corridor designation in Thrive ignores the fact that work has already begun on an extensive commercial and housing development just 1 block from River Road at West Bard Square. The first phase of that project will bring 200 apartments and nearly 75 townhouses to our community. And remember that under the West Bard sector plan, up to 1,300 dwelling units can be built there. It's very clear that large-scale growth is already coming to this area. The growth corridor designation is unnecessary and superfluous. Thanks very much for your attention and consideration this evening.
Thank you for your testimony, Howard. Our next speaker this evening is Link Hoeing. Link, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Thank you. Thrive 2050 includes 3 important areas of focus: the promotion of the Ag Reserve, attention to equity in policy and planning, and supporting 15-minute communities that speak directly to the failure of the county for decades to invest in facilities and programs to serve the residents of the Western County. The plan contains provisions intended to promote interest in the Ag Reserve. Preserving the health of the reserve is not just about helping promote agriculture and open lands. The health and welfare of those who live in the reserve must be a priority. Preventing investment in buildings should not mean the county fails to invest in the people who live in the Ag Reserve, but that is what has happened. The ag reserve is not really thriving if many of those who live there do not have access to county resources that enrich lives. The plan focuses on equity, a worthy and positive goal. It views equity largely through the lens of racial and economic disparities. However, there's another equity failure, the failure to ensure that all citizens have access to basic services, programs, and facilities in the county that it has deemed important, no matter where they live. Western County residents are far from services like community centers, senior centers, and medical services of many kinds. Finally, the draft plan promotes the idea of 15-minute communities, communities with convenient and nearby access to most county services. Poolsville has no community center, no senior center, only one doctor's office, a swimming pool that is uncovered and sits unused for 8 months out of the year, and no grocery store. Poolsville is one of the most walkable, compact communities in the county and is right in the middle of the ag reserve. Investing in county facilities in Poolsville will help preserve the ag reserve by reducing the need for citizens to drive long distances all over the county to access facilities and programs, and encouraging people elsewhere to come to Poolsville for programs and services that are in the community centers and other facilities. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your testimony. Our next speaker this evening is Reverend Kaylee McEvoy. Reverend Kaylee McEvoy, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Thank you so much. Good evening, friends. My name is Reverend Kaylee McEvoy, and I'm a minister at Westmoreland Congregational Church in Bethesda. I am grateful for the opportunity to speak to you all tonight on behalf of my own congregation and on behalf of the over 30 congregations, schools, and community organizations in action in Montgomery who have been striving and thriving for a active Montgomery County for more than 25 years. As a faith community in Bethesda, we have assisted in resettling 2 refugee families in the past 3 years. And as a youth minister myself, I have had the privilege of working with Nina and Moise, 2 high schoolers from one of these resettled families. Nina and Moise are active members in our church youth group. And when their family was ready to transition from church-supported housing to independent housing, the high cost of renting in the area made it impossible for them to stay in Bethesda. So their family had to move away from their support network. In this move, Nina and Moise lost connection to the youth group, and the young people in our youth group lost their friends. Our faith teaches us to welcome the stranger, and furthermore, that the stranger among us is our kin. And our church and our neighbors in Bethesda welcomed Nina and Moise into our homes and hearts, but the outdated exclusionary zoning policies that restrict affordable housing supply in Bethesda did not welcome these people into our community. And we cannot fulfill the promise of welcoming the stranger that our faith calls us to do until we have real, tangible, structural change around affordable housing in Montgomery County. That is why Action in Montgomery supports Thrive, and that is why, in closing, on behalf of AIM and on behalf of the young people in my youth group, I ask the council to schedule work sessions on Thrive 2050 immediately and pass the Thrive General Plan in 2022 as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Reverend McEvoy. Our next speaker this evening is Mary Jo Deering. Mary, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Do we have Mary Jo Deering here this evening?
Yes.
Hello. We can hear you.
Can you hear me now? I was trying to, may I start over? I was trying to.
We can hear you. You may start whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. So I live in Maplewood in Bethesda, and I've lived in Montgomery County for over 50 years, and in my current home for over 30 years. Like 87% of people over 65, I want to stay and die at home, hopefully another 20 plus years. Toward that end, in 2014, I created an aging in place village in Maplewood for neighbors to get to know and help neighbors. And I'm now president of the Washington Area Villages Exchange, the area-wide umbrella organization promoting and supporting the more than 70 aging in place villages in the region. But tonight I'm speaking only in my personal capacity, and I'll focus briefly on one specific housing form, duplexes, to serve older adults like me who could thrive by downsizing and buying an elder-friendly duplex home within their community, a home that enabled rental income or the opportunity for family members to live next door. Alternatively, some seniors could thrive by becoming tenants without the hassles of home and yard maintenance. I would support a pilot project in single-family residential areas that are bordered by major transit or growth corridors, namely to revise zoning to allow duplexes with fully resourced, effective oversight and enforcement of the following requirements at a minimum. One unit is the primary residence of the property owner, and there's no net loss of permeable surface or tree canopy. Countywide, I would want no net loss of existing smaller affordable housing, no one-size-fits-all policy, and an incremental approach with explicit measurable evaluation metrics. We over 65s will represent 34% of all households by 2038. Most of us want to age in place, and many use a phrase from our generation to tell you, hell no, we won't go. I hope you will help us stay and thrive here in Montgomery County. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Mary. Our next speaker this evening is Linda Bleedingheiser. Linda, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Thank you, Jordan. I'm not able to add my video because the host stopped it.
Okay, we'll get that started, but we can hear you.
Thank you.
While we work on your video. Thank you.
My name is Linda Bleedingheiser. I live in Bethesda. I'm co-chair of Action in Montgomery, also known as AIM, a broad-based community empowerment organization rooted in Montgomery County's neighborhoods and congregations. We are a nonpartisan, multi-faith, multiracial, multi-ethnic and organization dedicated to making our county a better place to live. AIM urges the County Council to pass Thrive Montgomery 2050 because it offers guidelines for improving racial, ethnic, and socioeconomic equity in our county. Among many aspects of the plan that we support, we're enthusiastically supportive of more multifamily homes along transportation corridors and increased affordable housing near transportation hubs. AIM's issue agenda is determined by listening to people from all walks of life across the county. And in our over 20 years of organizing, affordable housing is a constant issue. Among AIM's members are immigrant parents seeking quality, affordable housing for themselves and their young children, as well as retired people who cannot afford to downsize because of our county's limited housing stock. They worry they'll have to move away from communities where they have built their lives. Our county's current exclusionary zoning policies hurt all of us. Thrive gives us the opportunity to change that and make our county a place where all people can live and thrive. The Thrive 2050 plan states, and I quote, as the noted urbanist Phil Penalosa says, the cost of doing nothing is not nothing. If we do not adopt this new approach to developing our county, the consequences are likely to be economic underperformance, growing inequities, and more environmental decline. I urge all county council members to please do the right thing for our county. Schedule work sessions on Thrive and pass Thrive Montgomery 2050 as soon as possible.
Thank you for your testimony, Linda. Our next speaker this evening is David McGill. David, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Thank you. Right now, I'm not able to start my video. It looks like you're blocked.
Yeah, we can hear you, but we'll work. Oh, there you are.
Okay, very good. Thank you. First of all, I'm speaking as the Maryland Advocacy Director of MORE mountain bike group. So we're interested in parks and open spaces. Briefly, on a personal basis, let me say, first of all, I personally very much support Thrive. I won't be asking any of the council members to resign. I think it's a wonderful plan, and I know you have a challenge here to deal with people who don't want change. but the county has to grow. It has to thrive economically, and that really means focusing growth and development in a way that will move us 30, 50 years into the future. And I think Thrive has outlined a lot of that. Going back to the interests of my organization more, we are very excited about the rebalancing and redefinition of the role of parks. For 30, 40, 50 years, the ethos of the parks was environmental conservation over social activities and physical fitness. And I think it's wonderful that the Thrive is embracing the idea that we're going to have vibrant communities that are connected everywhere to parks, big, little, and that get people out. They get to meet in these places, and they get to experience the outdoors and activity with others. We work hard to try to help develop the trail system and the park system, and we want to keep doing that. We really appreciate the support that we've had, and we hope you will support the rebalancing and the redefinition to make parks really a place for activity as well as conservation. Both can be done. You can have conservation, good environment, and good activity all in the same parkland. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony. Our next speaker this evening is T. Reed Lewis. Mr. Lewis, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you're ready.
Thank you, Jordan, and thank you, council members. So I'm Reed Lewis, and my video will come on as soon as you enable it. Thank you all for letting us speak tonight. Right, so like David, I'm a longtime resident of the county. I just added it up, and it's 56 years in the county. And in that time, I've been a lot in the parks and on my bike on the trails. I love the trail system. My message today is that Thrive cannot go forward, though. Sorry, it cannot go forward until it deals with the infrastructure specifically, right, including parks and including in particular transportation, right? So in my time in the county, I've been to a lot of public hearings. I went to public hearings on Metro, on widening the Beltway, and there's all these promises about how we're going to deal with things, and they aren't realized, and you have what we have today, which is basically not Thrive, but Drive in traffic, right? So in particular, Thrive here talks about building along transit corridors, and my transit corridor is River Road. It's right outside my house. It is not walkable. It has bike lanes, but it's like taking your life in your hands, riding next to cars that are going 50 miles an hour. They're not even sidewalks in my neighborhood. We fought to get some of in there. So when my kids who went to MCPS schools like I did walked to school, they had to walk in the road, right? Or we tried to teach them to walk on the grass, but you know how well that worked, right? On River Road, pedestrians have been killed, bikers are killed, and I regularly get jostled out of my workday by a crash up at the intersection here. So my message is deal with infrastructure specifically in the plan, and then we'll support it. Okay, we agree with the lofty goals and all that, but don't build more housing before you deal with the infrastructure. Thank you for listening to me tonight, and good luck.
Thank you for your testimony. Our next speaker this evening is Monica Burke Goldberg. Ms. Goldberg, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you're ready. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much for the opportunity to provide testimony this evening. I am testifying from my car because I'm running an errand with my daughter. My name is Monica Goldberg, and as a homeowner, a 15-year resident of Montgomery County, and a parent of 3 children who have gone through the Montgomery public school system, I strongly support Thrive 2050. While it is not perfect, it is a big step in the right direction and needs to be further considered without any delay. We are in an affordable housing crisis. I'm fortunate to live in the Glenmore Park area of Bethesda near the intersection of Sangamore Road and Massachusetts Avenue. And all around me, neighbors and flippers are tearing down existing homes and building much larger single-family homes. And almost everyone who lives here and buys those homes is white. Across the street from me, a Black family sold their 2-bedroom, 2-bath home. The buyer added 2 stories and turned it into a 6-bedroom, 4.5-bath home. It sold for $2 million in less than a week. Don't try to tell me that that structure couldn't have housed at least 2 families. And while even those units would have been expensive, they would have cost less than $2 million. My new neighbors, a very nice white family, moved in a couple weeks ago. Some of my neighbors are concerned about greater density because they're worried about the impact on school crowding. My older daughter graduated from Whitman High School last June, and I have 2 sophomores there now. All 3 schools they have attended have had major renovations during the time they went there. Montgomery County knows how to build or expand schools when we need to. While we can all attest to challenges with our public schools, they remain great and can be expanded to include more students. Unfortunately, my children's education has sorely lacked diversity in the student population. How many discussions of history, literature, or other subjects would have been enriched by a more diverse student population? How much better prepared would they be for their professional and personal lives if they had more diversity in their peer groups in the school and elsewhere in the community? And the plain fact of the matter is that lack of diversity is tied to housing affordability. My beautiful neighborhood is changing into one that is even less affordable and even less diverse. I support Thrive 2050 because it allows us to at least address these negative trends and move us in the right direction. I would prefer for the county to make more direct investment in affordable housing, and I would support any effort to do that. In the meantime, passing Thrive 2050 immediately is our best option. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Ms. Goldberg. Our next speaker this evening is Isola Shaw. Isola, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Thank you.
Good evening, County Council. My name is Zola Shaw, and I am one of the co-founders of the Montgomery County Racial Equity Network, the MORE Network. MORE is asking you to ensure that the draft general plan Thrive receives a racial equity and social justice impact analysis before it is voted on. It is only with this analysis that this council can better predict if Thrive will help to advance equity or not. MORE does not have a current position either for or against the current draft of Thrive. MORE is advocating for an equitable, fact-informed review process by using the racial equity and social justice tools and systems we already have. MORE acknowledges that the Planning Department conducted their own internal equity review of the draft. To be clear, MORE is testifying for a different process. The racial equity and social justice impact analysis we want should be developed outside of the Planning Department objectively and independently through a transparent, community-trusted, co-created process. MORE also acknowledges that the county is required to provide a racial equity and social justice impact statement for zoning text amendments. Although this is one step forward, Thrive will guide all planning decisions beyond zoning for the next 30 years. Our county's approach to equity should be all-encompassing, as structural racism is all-encompassing. Since the Planning Board is not required to conduct this analysis for any of its plans, there are very few ways to protect our communities from negative impacts of planning policies, including gentrification and displacement of low-income residents. But as the council, you are the safeguard. MORE asks you to act on your commitment to advance equity by requiring that Thrive receive a racial equity and social justice impact analysis. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Ms. Shaw. Our next speaker this evening is Bonnie Edwick. Bonnie, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Hi, my name is Bonnie Endick, and I'm a resident in the East Bethesda area, and I have lived in the county for over 55 years. Thank you for allowing me to speak this evening. I would like to discuss my opposition to the rezoning that would most likely be required to implement Thrive 2050. I have significant concerns as to whether the proposal will achieve its stated objectives and will instead create infrastructure issues. First, the proposal does not adequately consider the impact of rezoning on the infrastructure of neighborhoods. I've not seen any studies about the impact to roads, traffic patterns, schools, and environmental issues. In many parts of East Bethesda, the streets are narrow and are barely able to accommodate on-street parking. School buses and emergency vehicles are already maneuvering down the streets. And both my husband and myself have had to go door to door to help a school bus get by because they could not leave the students in the car, but people parked on the street and the school bus could not get by. At a recent community meeting, county representatives asserted that prospective residents will not own vehicles and will rely on Metro instead. There's no support for this assertion. It is unrealistic to assume that families with children will not own a car. It would take at least 45 minutes to take public transportation from our home to the middle school that is assigned to my area. Many jobs in the county also require ownership of a car. Additionally, rezoning neighborhoods will line the pockets of real estate developers who stand to make substantial profits, far in excess of the profits from developing single-family homes. A lot that can be zoned for a duplex or a quad is likely to command more than the market price of a new single-family home. Further, individual units in multi-unit dwellings can be purchased by high net worth investors and then rented out for rates on par or greater than the monthly rents charged in high-rise buildings. The zoning proposal needs significantly more studies and thorough understanding rather than relying on bare assertions and assumptions. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Bonnie. Our next speaker this evening is Lorraine Nagy. Lorraine, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Thank you.
So I am Lorraine Nate. Here we are. Let me stop my video. Hold on. There we go. I am Lorraine Nagy, and I am a neighbor. I'm a resident of 35 years in the Maplewood neighborhood of Bethesda. When I first heard of Thrive, what I saw in it was a vision. I saw that there were many things that need to be fleshed out, that we need more data. I agree with that. More of an analysis of the impact, but not to lose the vision intergenerational, that have diversity. Here we go. I've started my survey. There we are. That are intergenerational, have diversity, have full inclusion. And that vision for Montgomery County could, if we could achieve that, if we could invite people to come with different backgrounds, different ethnicities, economic means, that our education systems and the quality of our neighborhoods will be improved. We need to be inclusive. And that's, to me, the message that I get from Thrive. The one warning, though, that I am going to say that to the county council is that a new development was put into our neighborhood about 10 or 15 years ago, and the developers were commanded that they would make it available, make affordable housing available. And what they did is that they preferred to pay the fine and not to make the affordable care, the affordable housing available. I want there to be honesty, transparency, and true inclusion through Thrive. And I do agree with what I've heard before, that we need to get away from this idea that we don't want change, that we don't want to have to make housing more available to more people, because we ourselves are comfortable with our homes. I've been here for 35 years. I love the neighborhood and I love the home. But I would invite people, and I would want people of different economic means and intergenerational to be in my neighborhood. And for that reason, I do support that we continue with Thrive, make it better, get the data, but that we continue with the vision. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your testimony, Ms. Nagy. Our next speaker this evening is Paula Beinfeld. Paula, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Thank you.
Thanks. Can you start my video, please? I guess you're after that. So I'm Dr.
Go ahead.
Great. Okay, thank you. I'm Dr. Paula Bienenfeld, representing North Bethesda neighborhoods. Oh, can you hang on?
Yeah, there we go. We can see you, Dr. Bienenfeld.
Thank you. Thanks. A small community group that advocates for safe streets and for our neighborhoods. And before I begin, I'd like to ask the members of the council, did you take public transit this week? Any of you? Or thank you, Evan. I knew I could count on you. Councilmember Glass. Anyone else? How about last week? Anyone take public transit on the council? Nobody, just for the record. Thank you. I'm sure you've all heard about the concerns with the Thrive document. First, let me say, As a document, the document itself seems poorly prepared. The maps are blurry, there are a great deal of assertions with no references, and almost all the references that there are from the planning department itself. It would be the same as if I said, the moon is made up of 25% green cheese, 50% blue cheese, and 25% camembert. There is nothing factual backing up the assertions in the plan. Second, and of great importance, the plan reifies the structural racism inherent in the choices of our current transit stops. Building density only among the metro, for example, pushes high density only in the down county and still leaves the wealthiest neighborhoods to the west alone. We are a large county. Equity means that transit should be built out across the county and that housing should follow along with adequate infrastructure. This plan sets in stone what is already clear to everyone. The east side of the county and down county get the high density, the crowded schools, the poor air quality, and the horrible traffic, while the west side and the wealthier parts of the county, particularly where your donors live, are untouched. Please do not approve the plan. It has been developed in an undemocratic way, behind closed doors, by a few people, and reflects poorly on the county. At a time when we're in a crisis of democracy nationally, passing this ill-conceived plan, a plan that the majority of the residents do not want, sends the wrong signal to our residents who deserve better. And I'll also say the mudslinging involved in the discussions about the plan have been something I've never seen and been really terrible. The charges of racism, the ageism are everywhere now in this discussion, just woven through the DNA of it. And I understand possibly some of you have been involved in this on the council. So I'd ask you to please stop and lower the temperature so we can have reasonable discussions about the future of the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bienfeld, for your testimony. Our next speaker this evening is Tony Byrne. Tony, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you're ready. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Lindsay. I'll just wait for the video to catch up here. I'm joining you from the North Woodside neighborhood near Silver Spring. And as a business owner, of course, I have to pay close attention to supply and demand. And I can't help but notice that we have a significant problem in housing supply in this county. And any plan that does not directly address supply and by extension supports more density is simply not a realistic blueprint for our county. So one of the many things that I like about Thrive is that it provides at least a framework for addressing issues of housing supply. And I was grateful to see that concept reinforced in the Fed committee draft as well. Which brings me to my second point, which is I've listened carefully to opponents of Thrive in these sessions to try to understand their point of view. And almost invariably, the opponents preface their remarks with support for racial and social equity, environmental sustainability, improved transit, more attainable housing. And I believe them. But what I've not seen is an alternative plan that would address all these issues in a comprehensive way. Now, if you were going to create such a comprehensive blueprint, what would it look like? I have to believe that inevitably it would look very much like Thrive. So I believe it's time to move beyond sort of aspirational yard signs and start to adopt a real plan here. Now, I know that you've heard calls that we should wait one more year, we should have more discussions, and opponents of change have always said this. One more year perpetually becomes yet another year. And honestly, my friends, I think we've stalled enough on these issues. The real problem here is not that we need more time, but that it's taken us a long time really to get here. So I urge you to support the Thrive draft come January 2022. Now, on a personal note, I've heard a lot of fears in my own neighborhood and certainly tonight to so-called changes to neighborhood character. And I recognize we're not talking about zoning changes here, but I want to point out that the character of my neighborhood, North Woodside, is already changing. It's getting wealthier and less diverse. It's becoming unattainable for young families to move here. And some of that, not all of it, but some of it is due to legacy public policies at the county level. But the good news tonight, my friends, is that you can change this. So I urge you to support the Thrive General Plan, particularly as modified by the Fed Committee, as a common and essential starting point. Thank you for listening tonight.
Thank you for your testimony. Our next speaker this evening is Rachel Toker. Rachel, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you're ready. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Rachel Toker. I live in Bethesda, and I speak for Urban Ecosystem Restorations. We believe Thrive must be revised based on these 5 points. First, a strong, economically competitive, and desirable county includes nature. Widespread and distributed natural areas along the entire urban to rural spectrum make communities healthy and complete. That means having large and intact native landscapes outside of urban cores and a diverse range of nature spaces within them. Second, not all green spaces are created equal. Native and biologically diverse green spaces do the heavy lifting for stormwater management, climate resilience, biodiversity support, and human health. We need more land area for high-quality green spaces, and for that, we need you. Third, densifying cities lose green space if they don't intentionally plan to conserve and increase it. Even plans that increase only public green space rarely offset the loss of private green space once densification proceeds. Thrive 2050 will guide the county's future land use policies, so it should set the stage for a balance between county priorities and the expansion of urban and rural natural areas. If we do not plan for them, they will disappear, as history has shown. And if we do it right, we can expand green infrastructure while providing for affordable housing and jobs. Fourth, the effort cannot be limited to public parks. There is not enough space. We need private lands. And fifth, the American Public Health Association supports, quote, the protection and restoration of nature in the environments where people live, work, and play at every scale, from building sites to large regional park systems, unquote. No community is complete without nature. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Our next speaker this evening is Donna McDowell. Donna, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Okay.
Donna, we can hear you, and sure we'll be able to see you soon. There we are. Thank you.
Okay. Thrive is like a false front Hollywood set, real from the front, but look further behind, and what we see is artifice. Thrive is a facade that will serve as a basis for an avalanche of unsustainable development. Thrive builds its facade with nifty urban planner jargon, false assumptions, and sadly, outright chicanery. I join the chorus of voices asking that the council require that we do better for this crucial 30-year general plan. False assumption number 1, Thrive will lead to attainable housing for low-income people. In fact, Thrive will replace existing houses with much more expensive ones. False assumption number 2, Montgomery will grow by 200,000. We actually lost population last year, and many are working remotely. Even so, don't we, the residents, have the right to choose how much we want to grow, if at all? False assumption number 3, Thrive is good for the environment. People will take Metro, the planners say, but ridership even now is down 85%. What about the loss of trees as MoCo turns from green to gray? Increased runoff already resulting in a multitude of engineered drainage ditches. Drinking water, which our own Brian Frosch recently sounded the alarm about. Our air, increasing ozone-induced lung problems. Outright chicanery, planning pushed Thrive through during the pandemic. Some say, pass the plan now. Why? Many know very little about Thrive. Thrive divides, pitting rural Montgomery against urban. Absent clear support for diversity of county land uses, notably agriculture, Thrive presents a threat to the future integrity of the Ag Reserve. I have submitted to the record more detailed comments with many resources, including research studies. Council, you have shown due diligence on other matters, and I ask that you do so with regard to our general plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony, Ms. McDowell. Our next speaker this evening is James Olson. James, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Jordan. The video is still not enabled, I think.
Yes, we can hear you. We're working on that video for you. So we can hear you clear, but the video will be up very soon. So you can start whenever you're ready. Thank you. There you are.
Thank you. My name is Jim Olson. My wife and I have lived in Glen Echo Heights for the past 20 years and had 3 children go through Montgomery County Public Schools, all graduating from Walt Whitman. I support the draft Thrive Plan and urge its prompt passage. To those who say it is rushed, I would point out that public outreach on Thrive has been ongoing since 2019. A major reason for decisive action now is to deal with the fact that Montgomery County is falling behind our regional neighbors. Over the last decade, we've had the slowest rate of business formation and employment growth in the DC region, as well as the slowest rate of income growth. In fact, a negative median household income change. One key reason for this competitive decline is the snail-like growth in the county's housing stock. New building permits here were down 53% from 2012 to 2017, while in Fairfax they were up by 90%. This failure of supply to keep pace with demand results in higher prices for housing. Thrive contains a number of significant proposals to address this problem, including increased density along major corridors, increasing the number of income-restricted affordable housing units, revising building codes to support innovative construction techniques, and the use of public land for co-location of housing. In sum, the Council should quickly pass Thrive and turn its attention to how best to implement it. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Mr. Olson. Our next speaker this evening is Patrice Davis. Patrice, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrice Davis, and I live and work in Montgomery County. I want to use an analogy that the county is like a human body. The diabetes NP tells the patient to eat a low-carb diet, but meats are okay. The cardiologist says that high cholesterol, and no meats. The patient's confused and he gives up. He doesn't exercise, but he takes his new diabetes medication every day. Due to sudden upset stomachs, the GI specialist orders an endoscopy. You know, where they put the camera down your throat. GI distress is a common side effect of one of the diabetes medications. So endoscopy is a risky procedure and a waste of money before trying a different medication. These providers are all very smart and well-intentioned people, but they are working in their siloed specialties. They are not assessing and treating the person as a whole, or thinking about unintended consequences and possibly causing harm. Thrive in theory is trying to think about the county as a whole. It is very hard for humans and organizations not to think about their own needs or wanting a quick fix. What if someone came to town and told the patient, there's a solution for your clogged arteries. You don't need to make any other changes or sacrifices. It's no money down. Just sign your rights away and give me access to some of your future revenue. Well, that's how I picture the plan to give away the rights of I-270 for 50 years in order to add for-profit toll lanes. It is not going to decrease congestion. There will be consequences, and it is a lost opportunity for the comprehensive changes that we are talking about today. To be a well-functioning county, we need collaboration between highway planning, public transit, bikes, ride-sharing apps, school buses, disability advocates, and low-cost commuter parking lots. Transit is important. I want Montgomery County to be a healthy, thriving community. I support Thrive 2050, but I want to make sure that you continue to think of the county as a whole and keep in mind unintended consequences, and don't allow any corporate interests to be put ahead of residents and the environment. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your testimony. Our next speaker this evening is Randy Bosson. Randy, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Do we have Randy Boston here today, this evening?
It appears they're not on.
Okay, I'll note that here. Our next speaker on the list is Pete Freeman. Pete, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Thank you, Jordan, and members of the County Council. My name is Pete Freeman. I live in Bannockburn in between River Road and MacArthur Boulevard with my wife and 2 children, and I've considered Montgomery County my home for more than 45 years. I support Thrive Montgomery 2050 for the following reasons. First, we need a diverse resident mix. When I grew up in Bethesda, my friends' parents had varied backgrounds and jobs. And while this area was not nearly as diverse as other parts of the Washington region, largely by design, our differences were mutually enriching. This mix, as Tony Byrne noted earlier, is already changing. And if we don't increase the variety and amount of available housing across the county, the only people who will be able to live here will slot into a very narrow demographic. Second, we need affordable housing in all neighborhoods. Affordable housing should not just be located near other affordable housing or in high-density urban areas. Our current laws make building affordable housing of any type in areas such as West Bethesda essentially impossible. That is unconscionable and renders our colorful all are welcome signs meaningless. Thrive is a step toward addressing this inequity. Third, we need middle market housing in all neighborhoods as well. We are quickly becoming a county that is not affordable to first responders, teachers, and other middle income earners, like the firefighter who spoke at your last listening session. Do we really want them to commute from West Virginia or Frederick, increasing traffic and time spent away from their families? Don't we want our police officers, for example, to live in our neighborhoods and connect with us beyond often painful interactions at their work? You've heard from some residents warning that Thrive Montgomery 2050 will destroy the essential character of neighborhoods. But more neighbors from a variety of backgrounds cannot destroy our neighborhoods. Inaction and delay, greed and fear, however, just might. We need equitable and sustainable planning, and I urge the council and all Montgomery County residents to support Thrive Montgomery 2050.
Thank you for your testimony, Pete. Our next speaker this evening is Carla Steinborn. Carla, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Okay, I had planned testimony, but I'm not going to use it because I've been listening to the other testifiers. We need to get some things clear here. Most of the people talking for Thrive are talking about what its claimed goals are, not what it will actually do. I mean, its claimed goals are basically reducing climate impact, housing affordability, racial equity, and even economic competitiveness. It may aspire to those things, but it doesn't actually do any of them. The only thing that will happen immediately if Thrive is passed, and I can't help noticing many people saying we need to pass it immediately. The only thing that will happen immediately is that developers will have free rein to do what they want in any area designated by a simple majority of the county council, who will pass a zoning text amendment allowing it. And some are already drafted. And as far as we can tell at this point, they'll be mostly aimed at working class neighborhoods that already have affordable housing, and that housing will be torn down and replaced with non-affordable multi-unit structures. How do I know this? Well, the real estate expert in the planning department has admitted publicly that they haven't found a way to make the replacements affordable or attainable. And elsewhere, people in the department have admitted that they can't do it, that that's not happening, and that the only way they could get developers to agree to this whole thing was to give them this by right privilege to tear down homes and replace them with housing they know won't be affordable. So, if you're for Thrive's goals, you should not really be for this particular draft, okay? And secondly, we've heard people talk about how, well, if you're against Thrive, why don't you propose something? Well, I've heard a lot of wonderful proposals from people who have concerns about Thrive. They've talked about the McMansions, and what we really need to do is keep the McMansions out. And we've been told that, oh, we can't do that. There's no way to do that.
Steinborn, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but your 2 minutes is up. Thank you so much for your testimony. Thank you. We truly appreciate it. If you have anything else to say, you can write in, but thank you so much for your testimony. All right, our next speaker this evening is Carter Doherty. Carter, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thanks to the council and Ms. Lindsay for keeping the trains run on time. My name's Carter Doherty. I live in Tacoma Park with my wife and 2 children who attend MCPS schools. I'm here to speak in support of Thrive 2050, particularly because of my interest in affordable housing. Tacoma Park contributes disproportionately to Montgomery County's affordable housing stock because of our rent stabilization ordinance. And in that respect, I'd like to call out our mayor, Kate Stewart, for defending that ordinance as advancing affordable housing goals in our little town in other ways. Affordable housing is essential for a diverse community and a vital tool for dismantling the structural racism that has permeated American housing policy for so long. A few of you on the council, here I'm looking at you, council members Hucker and Reamer, know that I have been involved with my friend Neil Cohen for years in an effort to redevelop Tacoma Junction, also known as the intersection of Carroll Avenue and Maryland 410. That effort doesn't bear directly on Thrive, but it's worth noting that we have successfully mobilized pro-growth and pro-development Tacoma Parkers. So there is some hope here, but there are some lessons I wanted to pass on. First, please don't feel too bad about discounting the utter hysteria you often hear around this issue. After working on this project, I read an assessment of a smart growth advocate across the country, and it really stuck with me. I want to share it with you. And I paraphrase, no matter how modest or intelligent the effort, no matter how carefully you do your job, some people are going to act like you want to build a nuclear reactor on every corner. You don't, so be calm and do the job. Second, please, please, please do not let the opponents process you and this plan to death. You will surely hear, you already have heard demands that there be more and more discussion. And if you give in to that, the most motivated opponents will fill the time. There will be demands for endless studies, more data, a delay. And related to that, within the Thrive plan itself, please beware as well of embedding excessive consultation that would effectively function as a veto by parts of the county resistant to change. So like many others here, I urge Councilmember Alvarez to schedule work sessions on a vote for Thrive ASAP in 2022. We need to get it done so we can focus on the implementation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Doherty. Our next speaker this evening is Deontre Pinares. Deontre, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you're ready. Thank you. Do we have Deontre on the call this evening? Deontre Pinares?
No, we do not.
Okay, gotcha. I'll note that. Thank you. Up next is Michelle Whitaker. Michelle, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you're ready. Thank you. Do we have Michelle Whitaker?
They are also not on the call.
Gotcha. Our next speaker is Antonio Hernandez. Antonio, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Good evening. My name is Antonio Hernandez. I live in the Hallowell neighborhood in Olney. I have been volunteering in several community groups for years, advocating for a better education for Israeli students and immigrant adults. I strongly support this solid project. I'm happy to confirm that robust feedback from diverse stakeholders has been received and incorporated into the general project. In this sense, I'm going to share with you some input received from my community peers, friends, and neighbors based on our experience living in this wonderful county. The creation of more parks and public recreation centers will definitively allow and motivate our youth to focus on positive activities, refraining them from negative practices. Public transportation needs to be reevaluated because the current routes were designed with past realities in mind. The clear tendency in last census will require a serious assessment of routes, frequency, and technology. For example, the implementation of express routes. It may also reduce the number of personal vehicles, which at any extent will yield several advantages, from reducing air contamination and fossil energy use to a reduction of time spent in traffic, increasing the accessibility to jobs and overall efficiency. Also, a more thoughtful synchronization of traffic lights is highly recommended, as well as the creation of the infrastructure needed for facilitating the safe use of bicycles to support this effort, as he has shown effectiveness in other countries. Implementation of more bridges for pedestrians and second floors for main streets and crossroads will reduce the number of accidents happening too often recently, particularly in main streets, for example, Connecticut Avenue, Georgia Avenue, University Boulevard. Our local water sources are at risk due to diverse sources of contamination, so new technology for treatment and recycling is going to be needed soon. As a subject matter expert on the field, I can certainly state that there is plenty of room for improvement. All the above actions aligned with increased affordable housing, including townhouses and bigger apartments, will be needed as evident economic growth happening in upcoming years. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your testimony, Mr. Hernandez. Our next speaker this evening is Brian Hunter. Brian, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Thank you.
Hi all. Thanks. This is my first time experiencing this, and I'm gonna ramble a bit, I think. I was gonna write something down, but I wanted to hear what people had said because I had not experienced this before. Just as a bit of background, I'm a special ed teacher that supports 67 of our school MCPS schools. So I go all around the county. A lot of the places that were mentioned, I support schools there. I grew up in West Virginia. I've lived all over the country. I moved to Tacoma Park. I love Tacoma Park. I got way priced out of Tacoma Park very quickly. I lived in Gaithersburg. I've lived in Boyd's. I currently live in Darnestown, which is why I'm here today. I'm a avid cyclist. Kudos to the gentleman representing mountain biking earlier. I road bike. I city bike. I'm all for this notion of increased bike lanes. I love the bike lanes here. I'm proud of the bike lanes here. I'm terrified of riding on River Road, as the gentleman said earlier. It's a death trap. What I am concerned about, and again, is that this plan is very big, very glossy, and very lacking in substance. I cannot tell you what it means for Darnestown. I can tell you I live here because of the kind of gateway to recreation that it offers. I live here because it isn't Bethesda, because it isn't Tacoma Park, because it isn't other places, right? And that's okay. I love Tacoma Park, but I love it here too. And I think the county, I would really appreciate the county council in particular to understand, I don't want Clarksburg. I lived in Boyd's. I left there very quickly because of that situation, that the never-ending sprawl that's emerging out of there. The action on 10 Mile Creek is pretty terrible. You know, we have places to live. There's let's face it. I mean, we built a lot of houses. Houses are more expensive than ever. I'm all for if we build. I'm running out of time, of course. So I just quickly, Mr. Glass, you'd sent me an email. I appreciate it. I'm worried that you don't know what changing.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but
right, I'm done.
Thank you
Yep.
so much for your testimony. Have a great evening. Our next speaker this evening is Brandy Pandak. Brandy, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. My name is Brandy Pambach, and I've been a Montgomery County resident for 8 years. I was a renter for 2 years in downtown Silver Spring, and then I owned a condo in downtown Silver Spring for about 5 years, and I currently own a single-family home in Silver Spring. And I want to start by saying that I strongly support the Thrive 2050 plan. I believe the Thrive 2050 plan sets us on a course to a more livable, affordable, equitable, and sustainable future. I was born in the mid-1980s, and ever since then, housing costs, like education costs, have far exceeded the rate of inflation. This puts them out of reach for more and more people. I do feel very fortunate to be able to afford a property in the county However, most people in the millennial generation, even those above the median income rate, struggle to afford places to rent and struggle even more so to find places to buy in our county. This is compounded by the high proportion of us, myself included, who hold a large amount of student loans. For most people, housing costs constitute the majority of their budgets. And I believe for this reason that, housing is for most people the most pressing and also the most personal issue. And I do personally know people who have had to leave the county or the region due to an inability to find housing that fit within their budget, and as a result, ended up building their lives elsewhere. I believe that the only way to address the housing crisis is to build more housing and increase funding to moderately priced and affordable housing programs. The supply of market rate housing and affordable housing must be increased substantially. Thrive is the first step to addressing this crisis by making recommendations for land use and zoning changes. The county must take steps in the future to also change the land use and change the zoning following the plan. These changes will enable the county to prepare for a prosperous and more equitable future. The existing general plan was written 2 generations ago. At that time, the twin crises of climate change and economic inequity were vastly different than they are today, and land use and zoning are at the nexus of these crises. We need more housing.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but your 2 minutes is up. Thank you so much for your testimony. All right, our next speaker this evening is Deborah Cohn. Deborah, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you're ready. Thank you.
I'm here, but the video is not turning, so I'll let that go. Okay. I, Deborah Cohn, you can see, okay. I, Deborah Cohn, have lived in Bethesda since 1986. I raised my children here, and my first grandchild was born here this summer. I care about their future, and thus I support Thrive Montgomery. But 2 goals deserve greater emphasis, specific recommendations, and metrics. 1, minimizing gentrification and economic displacement, and 2, environmental resilience. Thrive Montgomery envisages denser development to address some of the county's current problems: an inadequate housing supply, resulting in lack of affordable housing; car-centric development, resulting in congested roads, greenhouse gases, and weaker communities; economically and racially segregated communities; and a lack of areas, particularly in the East County, where people can shop, eat, or just hang out. The goal is to create vibrant, diverse, walkable communities that support healthy, informal interactions among local residents. These communities would have a mixture of housing types and sizes, residents of diverse economic levels, commercial and retail areas to serve the communities, and local recreational infrastructure. Denser development through infill, however, could create other problems. Thrive must identify specific steps to protect against gentrification and the displacement of existing lower income residents and their informal mutual support systems as infill development increases land values. Thrive also should identify metrics and natural strategies to increase resiliency against heat, flood, and drought. These could include tree canopy goals of 40% or more in each section of the county, recommending that DPS gains authority to enforce the site suitability standards of the IGCC, numerical acreage goals, and stronger financial incentives for increasing contiguous forests and for supplanting grass with native species, and significantly increased fines for tree removal. Please support Thrive Montgomery with these modifications. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Our next speaker on the list is Linda Chikalis. Linda, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you're ready. Do we have Linda Chikalis here this evening?
They do not appear to be on the call.
Got it. I will note that. Thank you so much. Next on the list, we have Diana Conway. Diana, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you're ready.
Great, thank you very much. Good evening, council members, and thank you for the second session. My name is Diana Conway. I've lived in the county almost 30 years and volunteered in various community roles. I'm speaking as an individual committed to a smart, generous, and sustainable community. Thrive states we have a lot going for us, but there's room for improvement. Well, the same goes for this draft plan. Yes, the future is unpredictable and we should plan long-term, and Thrive lays out some good goals. But today, both the process and the contents are actively dividing our community, and that's not where we want to be. You and we have more work to do to make this a document that actually draws people together. As it stands, I see two unacceptable but remediable shortcomings. First, we need a specific chapter on the environment. Environmental organizations, community members, and DEP are calling for a specific chapter on the environment, as our neighboring jurisdictions wisely have in their recent plans. Sprinkling in elements of the environment is not a substitute, and it's actually kind of insulting. Rather, Thrive must have at its center climate change mitigation and resilience, which runs right into environmental stewardship. Anything short of that is irresponsible, and fundamentally, we all know it. Please place mitigation, resilience, and stewardship at the center as architecture for all master planning and implementation, and do not relegate them to non-binding suggestions. Our natural resources are critical assets, not constraints to be pushed aside. The second item is a searing need for language that prioritizes and expands our natural green infrastructure throughout the document. I mean the critical infrastructure like a network of waterways, wetlands, tree canopy, wildlife habitats, and healthy soils. And finally, not all green is good. For example, green plastic fields. Continuing to pave the county with petroleum-based, heat-producing, microplastic polluting plastic fields runs contrary to every climate goal in the environmental chapter that I just opened with, which I hope you will add to the plan. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Diana. Our next speaker on the list is Philip Shaman. Philip, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Thank you. I am the chair of the Environmental Committee of Potomac Preserve, the Homeowners Association, which has 159 homes. I've lived there 50 years, and we ferociously try to preserve the environment. And I'm trying to ferociously start the video. There we go. I strongly support what Debbie Cohn said and what Diana Conway just said. I'm concerned, and I just love the fact that in Montgomery County we have so many smart people saying things, but we're missing something in the intensity of a problem. And that is, we are facing an environmental asteroid coming at us. And we have to be smarter than the dinosaurs, or we're going to get wiped out in the next 50 years. And all of the issues like housing and economy and equality are not going to matter, although they're extremely important, if you're hip deep in water and your house is blown over by tornadoes and hurricanes and you don't have clean air and water. So I think the overriding priority for this 50-year plan can't be business as usual. It has to be a focus on the environment and what we're going to set an example to other counties in trying to get more oxygen and less bad stuff into the air. My environmental committee is prepared to work with the council on recommending specific species of trees and where they might go if you're interested in that. But we got to be smarter than the dinosaurs. We can't just keep chomping on our greenery while the environmental asteroid keeps getting closer and closer. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Philip. Our next speaker on the list is Irving Lieberman. Irving, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you're ready. Thank you.
They do not appear to be on the call.
I'll note that. Thank you. Our next speaker is Jeffrey Rubin. Jeffrey, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Thank you.
My name is Jeffrey Rubin, and I live in Potomac. I'm here to express my support for Thrive 2050. It is a visionary document that addresses critical needs of Montgomery County. The challenges of climate change and a legacy of inequity reflected in practices such as redlining require a comprehensive rethinking of our communal existence. I welcome the concept of complete communities with its emphasis on walkable spaces for residents, a greater variety of housing options, a mixture of business and residential property, and a greater reliance on mass transit and green technologies. Preservation and, in some instances, restoration of the natural environment are of utmost importance. The value of Thrive 2050 ultimately will depend on a faithful implementation of its principles. That will require rezoning to allow for the changes in land use described in the plan, such as a reduction in the proportion of residential land limited only to single-family dwellings, and a change in policy to better promote the availability of more affordable housing, including for renters. It also means that economic development in the eastern part of the county must be a top priority, not deferred as it has been in the past. Historically marginalized communities must be provided the resources necessary for them to have an opportunity to thrive, along with the rest of our population. This includes protection of people at high risk of displacement as the Thrive Plan is implemented. I recognize that this plan was generated with the intention of promoting racial equity. Nonetheless, the document should undergo an independent review by the Racial Equity and Social Justice Office prior to its approval. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Mr. Rubin. Our next speaker on the list is Michael Shapiro. Michael, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Good evening, County Council. My name is Michael Shapiro. I am a junior at Bethesda Chevy Chase High School and the founder of the Sustainable Growth Project, a student-led activism initiative looking to ensure that local growth is socioeconomically sustainable, a goal that Thrive Montgomery 2050 actively conforms to. Thus, as the next generation of Montgomery County residents, my peers and I overwhelmingly support the passing of Thrive Montgomery 2050 as not only the framework of Montgomery County's future, but our future. There hasn't been a comprehensive framework for development passed in over 50 years. The precedent, the Wedges and Corridor Plan, aimed to address the problems of its time, but that time has since passed. Now, more than 50 years later, we need a plan that addresses the issues of our time in the most effective way. Whether it be providing affordable housing opportunities, mitigating climate change, or promoting equitable growth, we found that the greatest demands of our generation are not only answered, but actively developed within the layers of the framework. To verify that our views were consistent with our peers, we cast a survey to gauge the consensus among a diverse array of MCPS students. As suspected, we got overwhelmingly favorable results from all around the county. In our survey of 100 students across 10 different MCPS high schools, a staggering 97% of them professed support for Thrive Montgomery 2050. Whether it be a student from Quince Orchard High School attributing her support to public transportation improvements, or a student from Thomas S. Wooden High School attributing her support to the formation of equitable growth opportunities, there are many different reasons why current students, those impacted most by this framework across the county, support Thrive Montgomery 2050's passing. Seeing the consensus among my fellow Montgomery County public school students and I, we strongly encourage you, as the elective representative body of Montgomery County, to be representative of the future desired by us, the county's future, and vote in favor of Thrive Montgomery 2050. For the full report, please refer to my written testimony. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Mr. Shapiro. Our next speaker is Carolyn Grice. Carolyn, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready.
Good evening. My name is Carolyn Grice, and I'm speaking tonight as a council member in the Village of Chevy Chase Section 3 to express on the council's behalf its concern about the Thrive 2050 plan currently before the county council. We support many of Thrive's principles, including its call for inclusive, socially connected, and walkable communities, and for economic health and environmental resiliency. These goals are admirable. In its current form, however, it's not clear that Thrive can achieve those goals or even create a workable path in their direction. Thrive 2050's extreme changes to residential zoning don't work for Montgomery County across the board. To be implemented, the plan's goals necessitate changing current residential zoning on a one-size-fits-all approach that is totally unacceptable. Allowing market rate multifamily housing units in a single-family neighborhoods to increase density as a matter of right without public input will result in potential gentrification of neighborhoods and displacement of residents countywide. Thrive does not acknowledge that many down-county areas are already densely populated. In fact, Section 3 is the 5th most densely populated municipality in Maryland, and further increasing that density would only exacerbate existing traffic, stormwater management, green space, and parking issues. The one-size-fits-all approach does not properly mandate the use of master and sector planning processes. Following these processes can only help to give form to the goals of Thrive 2050, provide adequate analysis, refine its recommendations, and implement them at a scale tailored to specific neighborhoods such as ours. Thrive 2050 does not successfully address the need for affordable housing. Its strategy to increase density by encouraging the as yet undefined attainable housing will only result in housing that's likely to rent or sell at market rates, Thrive fails to account for the high cost of land and construction costs for infill housing. Too much is expected of Thrive alone to increase the affordability and equity of housing. The successful creation of housing doesn't happen in an economic vacuum. What about job development? What about economic competitiveness? Thrive 2050 also fails to appreciate the value of multi-generational communities or the practical considerations that make such communities feasible. In Section 3, we value the mix of old and new residents. Thrive estimates that a third of owner households are overhoused, a category that undoubtedly includes large numbers of persons who continue to live in their family home after the children are grown. These longtime residents are valued members of our community. They wouldn't be able to afford a smaller housing unit in the same community. As a foundation for long-term and large-scale development, Thrive currently has notable flaws. It can't provide the affordable housing it promises. It won't directly affect desired racial equity. It does little to preserve naturally occurring affordable housing, and it lacks key stakeholder input in communities it will most significantly affect. And the things it does do, it ignores the importance of integrated planning and economic policy.
Yeah, thank you. Our next speaker this evening is Christina Ritchie. Christina, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. My name's Christina Ritchie. It's late and I don't have a lot to say. I'm a homeowner and a parent. I live in Silver Spring in Sligo Woods, and I support Thrive 2050. I bought my house 4 years ago, and home prices in my neighborhood have gone up 20% in that short amount of time. To me, that is unsustainable, and it tells me that there's something unfair in the system that we have now. And it's clear to me in reading and listening about Thrive 2050 over the last year and a half, that we can get there with this plan. I want to live in a vibrant and diverse neighborhood with many options for housing and transportation. And this plan does a good job of planning for that. So I urge you to move forward quickly with this plan. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Christina. Our next speaker is Kamran Rahman. Kamran, you have 2 minutes to give your testimony, and you may begin when you are ready. Thank you.
They do not appear to be on the call.
Gotcha. Well, that actually concludes the speakers for this evening. Council President Gabe Albornoz, I'm going to go ahead and toss it back to you for closing remarks. Thank you.
Jordan, thanks for doing such a great job facilitating tonight. One of the speakers referenced how much he loves living in the county because of how smart our residents are, and this just further verified that. That was excellent testimony that gave us much more to think about. We appreciate everyone's input this evening. We look forward to the ongoing dialogue on this really critically important issue. Today, we adjourned our last session before our December recess. We will be reconvening the council on January 11th. We hope everybody has a happy holiday season and a safe and happy new year as well. And with that, we are adjourned this evening. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating.